Hey, easy.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Hey, I like whoever this too easy free beats be by. I like his little vibe. He got a vibe. All right, so welcome to Fuck Your Thoughts podcast, which is a conversation between two friends about our intrusive thoughts. And on this episode, we will be taking a look at the basics of shadow work and who we truly are when behind closed doors. We will delve into the darkness and the lightness that the soul possesses. We will also provide personal methods that we use to allow our shadow self to be present for optimal growth. And as always, we will talk our sass, get off task, and crack jokes in our West Tennessean lingo.
Hey, 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 hey.
Hey, hey,
Can I
hey.
get a hooyah?
What you say?
Can I get a hooyah?
Fire!
Girl, this is them kids was doing about 4 years ago. Just like they be screaming that 6, 7 shit.
I'm so
They
sick of 7. That's my damn. That's a very special day to me, though.
exactly. That's your.
It's a day.
I'm
But 6-7
sorry, y'all. Ooh, Lord, that was a
now
hard
you gonna
yawn.
start yawning. Now I'm gonna be yawning in about 3 minutes.
Man, listen, I am sleepy today.
Hey, I've been watching this Tubi movie. You know I like a good Tubi series called The Wicked City. Hey, that just so fire. I just been watching it. It's good. I
I
like
said
it.
it was good.
It's tied into like kind of shadow work type activities and stuff. So
You say
I
it's the
just been
black
out here.
version
Huh?
of you say it's the black version of what's that show that used to come on?
Charmed.
Charmed. Uh-huh. I ain't never
Uh-huh.
really get into Charmed like that.
I did. I
My,
watched every last one of the every season.
my
From
roommates
the
in college watched
beginning
it.
to all the way to when they had the new
The new
episodes
girl.
people. Yeah.
Oh yeah, when they came back out with it like 2020 or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Lily watched it. Lily likes stuff. She does stuff like that.
I bet.
Lily, Lily will watch her TV show. I do good. I might do good watching the first season. After the first season, I might get in halfway to the second season. After that, my attention be gone.
A lot of times, like this episode, I thought it was gonna be this series, I thought it was gonna be one of them just to be good on the first and then didn't get done, but it got better. I was like, what?
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
I'm
okay.
impressed. So yeah, I like it. I like it.
Good, 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 good. Good, good,
Hmm.
good, good, good. Y'all got cold weather over there?
It's a
How's the
little
weather?
bit winter time. It's a little. It's a
A little
little.
fall
Mhm.
time.
I just this the season where your utility bill don't be that high because you can turn everything off.
Man, and you can cut up windows and you ain't got to have no heat or no air on.
Right.
And but this that season that you'll mess around and get sick because the weather is bipolar.
I'm not getting sick. I've been taking all my tinctures and oils and shit.
Yeah, I don't. I ain't felt no urge to be sick neither this year. Usually I be feeling a little tickle around this time, but I ain't felt none. Shit, a nigga. I'll tell you what has been happening though. I have not really been hungry, but I've been eating.
It's a food fake.
Yeah, we talked about this. I be full. I be full when I if I eat one time, I be full for 2 days. No bullshit. I don't know what that's about, but I be full. Yeah.
Cause in all honesty, like, do you really supposed to eat all that all the
We
time?
got, and then for real, people might just excuse me, the way stuff rolling. Shit, people might need to prepare themselves to not be eating all the time. For real, you might need to
You
prepare
gotta learn
yourself
how
to
to preserve some of
man,
your energy too. Shit.
man, exactly.
If
Learn
you
how to
move
burn
around,
them
you
Cheetos.
move, the less energy you gonna burn. Cause shit, we ain't gonna. I don't know. I
Man, yeah.
still like I see it's happening and shit, but to me, it's giving COVID.
Yeah, of course. It's giving all plan. It's purposeful, purpose on purpose. Like the government still shut down. Nigga, since when has the government ever been shut down damn near a whole month? Bro, y'all redoing a whole
Not too
nother,
long ago.
huh?
Not too long ago, wasn't it? Couple
Girl,
years.
no. No, that last time the government shut down, it was but 2 days. Girl, they was panicking. That shit been going on a whole month since September 30th, October the 1st, and they
Well,
talking about
every
some
time I watch anything on YouTube, if I was watching the Deontay Cal and all the every time the little ads would come on, you'd be like, with this shutdown, I'd be like, God damn, get the fuck
right.
out my
They
damn. It's just and it's giving it's fear mongering, but like I get the severity of it, but it's still
I don't care, but it sounds like to me Gilead, like y'all finna come up with a new government. Y'all trying to trim the fat on the government
exactly, and
and
that's
trim
what
the
I'm
fat
getting.
and redo it. And y'all finna come back with a Gilead. So
Well,
it's
I
giving
just
that
saying.
makes sense.
The shit was the ads was aggressive as hell. I was like, well, Lord, okay, let me go to the grocery store. I didn't go
Yeah, the grocery store. Girl, we went to Kroger in Jackson. Why is Kroger so expensive now?
because you have to use the coupons.
Do what?
You have to use the app to get the coupons
Why do I have to go through the app when y'all
because
can just
everything has an app now. Everything.
that's just a way to track people.
It is. I don't give. I don't care. They tracking you anyway. If you got a phone, who fucking
They
cares?
are. Every time you go somewhere, you gotta scan some shit. God damn, can I just come in here and shop and y'all just give me the
Leave
discount?
me alone. You cannot use these regular coupons that I clipped out of the Jackson Sun
All right, or
or the shit that
dude.
they sent me through the mail. And then sometimes they send you those coupons in the mail, and the places don't take them.
I know, cause motherfuckers got outrageous with that coupon and shit.
They
Niggas
did. I wasn't
finna
mad
come
at
in
them.
here with 10
They
coupons and
send
get all this
coupons.
shit for $5.
I didn't have enough patience for that, but sometimes I will do the ones where you can scan it 5 times.
Yeah, I did, girl. When I quit Enterprise, I was a couponing bitch. Hey, couponing, couponing creates hoardism. Couponing creates hoarderism and
It
motherfucking
do. If you
greediness.
not if you not organized, you will be a hoarder.
Or you can still be organized, but it just creates it creates greediness. Like you don't need 1,000 things of fucking Gain detergent. Why do you
Or
have?
deodorants.
Huh?
Why do you need this many? And then if you got this many, sure. Why are you holding
Exactly,
on to it? Get
bro.
what?
I had a whole cabinet of Tide Pods, motherfucking Gains, because I was in a. It's giving a spirit of lack, mentality of lack. Like, oh, let me go get these coupons and quit my job. I ain't got no money. Let me go coupon. So yeah, no,
Shit crazy.
the shit is hilarious.
It is
Hilarious, hilarious. But
so.
yeah, my feet cold. That's how I know the weather changing. My feet cold, and I can't keep them warm.
Hmm.
Yeah, my feet ain't been cold in quite a while, quite some time. But I feel good though. I've been feeling good all week. Well, yeah, since the weekend. I was a little tired. I'm not gonna lie, I'm physically tired, but mentally, like I said, when fall started, I feel like a whole load lifted off of me. Like some
Why?
blinders just lifted. Like I don't know. I feel like I had blockages for the past 3 years or 2 or 3 years. But when this fall rolled around, I felt like my blockages just left, and like
Because
I
you
feel
probably
like
didn't give a damn. Or
yeah,
sometimes right now is not sometimes, but every year this is sad season.
yeah.
And
Well, I'm
maybe
not sad.
you're at a place to where you don't have to be sad.
Yeah, I just feel. I mean, I feel at rest, at peace with whatever it's gonna be. And this
Mm,
is a season when a lot of people start dying too. A lot of things die. Your harvest comes through. So it's gonna be I don't know. I know my family had a couple of losses last year around this time. So the veil is very
remember.
thin in the fall, very thin. So it was especially going into from Libra into Scorpio season, and then in the Sagittarius season, you're gonna see a lot of transitioning, whether that be death, physical plane, or death for
Death
things
where
that no
when
longer
you
serve
dealing
you.
in relationship wise too.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel good. I feel good.
Yeah. I feel good too. I went down
Mm,
to Atlanta. It was an
taste
experience.
good.
An experience. I'm not a big fan of it. They drive too fast.
You
But
better get in your lane and stay.
when I went down there, I went down there and did what I went to go do.
Hmm.
Productive and successful, and everybody was happy that I gave a fuck about being happy. So
Well, good.
we'll get
Good
that
to be
done.
happy sometimes.
It is.
It's good to choose happiness.
I've come to the
'Cause
conclusion that really the only people that I care like for real about their happiness is my children and the select few people that I really deal with.
yeah. And
I
know
used
I've
to
learned
care.
your children gonna fuck with you regardless.
Yeah.
Children gonna fuck with you regardless whether you wrong as hell. And I'm not saying that's a good, you know, I'm
Sometimes it's
seeing
detrimental to children. It depends on the
right.
parent.
It depends on the parent because I'm seeing a lot of toxic situations unfold with parent dynamics. But if you are a good parent and you have really poured into your children in a productive way, they will cherish that and love you. And these kids now smart; they see everything anyway, so they know who ain't
Yeah.
shit, and they'll
I
speak
think
on
kids
it.
have always known. I think once they get to a certain age, they know who's who and who's doing what.
Yeah, and they feel more comfortable to talk. And now kids nowadays have the space to talk about it. Whereas we've grown up, you couldn't dare speak against
I
nothing that
think
your
that's
family
just
was
I
doing.
think it's just our kids. I don't think our kids have that space.
You don't think so?
No, ma'am.
Oh well, fuck.
No,
Well, shit.
no,
Oh
they
well,
do
damn.
not.
I thought that was everybody kid.
No, if you have parents that are open and welcome to hearing what the child has to say, but it's a lot of parents that still be on
You gonna
children
respect
should
me?
be seen and I heard.
You right. Cause I was gonna say we couldn't say nothing to our parents because it was a matter of respect.
Oh, I ain't gonna say we couldn't, but it was I don't know. I
We
just trying
could,
to
but it
see what
was
I wanted to do, huh?
we could, but it was gonna be a
But it
level
was
of
still, you might have got a whooping afterwards, but whatever.
I don't know. They're gonna tell a
I
generation
just think
be
it was that generation of parents. Like it's
yeah.
different. Our generation of parenting is different than theirs. And then
Yeah, we
their parents' generation was, what I'm saying, it's different. I think it's become a lot more lenient as far as communication wise, but also at the same time when we look at our parenting, comparison, like the parents that are our age, I ain't gonna lie, man, they some trash. A
Yeah, you're
little bit.
right. Yeah, you are. Because London State talking about how the parents our age be in competition and be jealous of their daughters.
I mean, I
This,
think
that.
that's always been a thing, but I'm just saying in general, as far
Mhm.
as like parental responsibilities,
Mhm.
the folks that's our age, but we really need they need to go to a parenting class. And I'm not saying I'm perfect because I know I done some crazy shit as far as
Yeah,
pertaining to my children, but just in as a whole,
yeah.
like it just
You do
coming
some
from
work.
a school education perspective, like it's wild. The shit wild.
Yeah. So what you think? They need to communicate with their kids or
They need to whoop them sometimes.
not try to be their friend.
Yeah. And I ain't
Uh,
saying beat your kid. Like you don't even I don't literally mean like whoop them, but like
give them some type of consequences and discipline.
yes, and it's okay for somebody else to tell your kid to do stuff. Like there should be if I say no, you're not doing it, then that's what I
So,
mean and that's what I
so
said.
our generation, the generation had to come up and cuss the teachers out, act the
Yes.
fool at the school, knowing
And
your child bad than a motherfucker.
sometimes that's justified. It is. But
Mm,
if you I don't know. I don't know. It's just different. It's different. But the whole concept of school is different as well. So
yeah, I would say
I
school
just
is different
school
now.
is different. It's different. But
So
anyway,
everything is evolving and
it's
changing.
changing and we're gonna have to get on board with it. It's like the old is going out, but sometimes
Mhm.
certain aspects of old needs to stay because it works. If it
Yeah,
doesn't,
because it works.
if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Don't throw
That's
away
like
the
when my
baby
kids
and the
get Eureka
bathwater.
math. Why the fuck is y'all teaching them to divide sideways? Like what the fuck? I don't know how to do this shit. So now then you take that type of concept and then you put it to say if I'm teaching you how to add, subtract, whatever, and we using those little circles and the sticks. So then when you take
Mhm.
that and you apply it to trying to do the concept of scientific notation, you're not gonna catch it because it ain't enough circles and sticks.
You ain't adding with the
So
circles
it's
and
not
sticks. You ain't
it's
getting them.
ain't no way you can't you're not finna have 13,000 circles and who finna count that? I'm not.
Oh.
So if you never was taught to memorize your multiplication
Mhm.
factor, you're gonna struggle.
Mhm.
Or if you can't write a letter, like
Mhm.
how to formulate a 5 paragraph essay is the shit is a struggle.
I agree.
So I don't know, but anyway, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's all I say. But you got a
Just
word?
tweak it a little bit. I do. The Merriam-Webster word of the day for October 20th, 2025 is etymology.
It's
And
what?
according to etymology,
Okay.
Etymology, it seems like they be giving some basic ass words that a nigga already know, but okay.
Most people read on an eighth grade reading level and they don't know.
Well, all these words that Merriam-Webster be giving be bullshit. But it's a new word for somebody that may be listening. So what it means in etymology is an explanation of a world's history that is where the word I'm sorry. Let me back that up. I can't read. See, that's what I get for talking shit.
Mm-hmm.
What it means in etymology is an explanation of a word's history. That is where the word came from and how it developed. So it's basically how a word, where the word came from. You should be able to break the word down based off of the prefix, suffix, base word, root word. And it's usually from so-called Latin or some type of ancient civilization wording. In a sentence, it is as a word nerd, I'm always eager to learn a word's etymology and trace it back to its earliest known origins. Yeah,
Well, that's good to know the etymology of words when you're using them in everyday life.
that's true. And most of English words go back to what? Greek.
I don't
Uh,
know.
they
Some
go back to
nigga
Latin. Latin words because English is a bastard language from different Germanic tribes. Bastardized language.
All right, so I pulled. Well, I just shuffled and then I pulled in regard to what we're talking on, speaking on. That's why I said, okay, let me pull a word based on shadow work. So
Mm-hmm.
the card that I flipped over from my relationship oracle deck is.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Was that a sneeze, a burp? What the fuck was that?
No, that was a cough. Got I ate too much, and I
You
got
sound like old people. Where they
uh,
be having that handkerchief and blowing their nose and
mm,
wiping their
yeah,
mouth at the same time.
there's a whole cough.
All right, so I pulled grace,
Mhm.
and the frequency of grace supports our smooth adaptation to and anticipation of life's currents and changes as we evolve toward a higher version of ourselves on this earthly plane, bridging the divine with the human essence. So, in regard to when you're doing shadow work, I had to show myself grace when I first started doing it. Otherwise, I would have been depressed in the bitch. Because you when you going through and you know what I'm saying, you looking at your patterns and your whatever you got going on or however a person wants to go about doing shadow work. I think there's different ways. We're gonna go into detail about that. But for me and the steps that I took, I had to show myself grace by
Mhm.
just being okay and realizing the patterns that I was doing and understanding the things that I needed to do to change that. So some of the questions that go along with this, it says, can you think of someone in your life who has a lot of grace? So with these questions, you can take it and apply it. Like, okay, if you see somebody in your life that shows grace to a lot of people, then you can take that same ideology of how they carry themselves and apply it to yourself. So if you say, okay, well, she's so gracious, she has patience, she does whatever with these people, I want to have that same concept and apply it to me dealing with me. And
Mhm.
another one says, how do you recognize grace in a person? So it's just different questions on here that it gives you to understand and recognize how to identify grace. But once you do go through the steps and whatever you need, it's easier to apply grace to yourself instead of shit, in my case, spazzing out.
Mhm.
Cause that Gemini switch be real.
So grace is basically patience.
Yeah, to a certain extent, like if you really just want to break it down and say, or just like kind of being like, I had a lady that was in a program and she told me to have grace. Having grace means to be gentle with yourself or to, like, I think I said this before, but like stroke yourself with a feather. How you would, be gentle with yourself.
Mhm.
So show yourself some grace the same way you show, like say if you teaching your kid how to do something and you know they're not gonna catch it the first time and you have grace. So you're like, okay, well, let me just show them again. Let me show, what I'm saying, let me break it down and maybe do it a different way. You have to take that same idea or that same concept and apply it to yourself when you're trying to make changes for yourself
Mhm.
or realizing, okay, well, this is what I be doing in life, so let me go and change these patterns, but I can't be mad at myself for reverting back to doing something that I've done in the past. And even when you have gone through uh you have, what I'm saying, been working on yourself for a while, sometimes you get put in a position to where it might be something that you really want, because a lot of times we want what we want when we want it, how we want it, that you have to come
Mhm.
back and remind yourself, okay, well, damn, let me show myself some grace because this is harder than I thought it was. So let me be a
Mhm.
little patient with myself. I'm not gonna catch it all every single time the first time, regardless of how long you've been doing whatever you've been doing to work on yourself.
Mhm.
So you just gotta have some grace.
Mm-hmm. Okay, 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 okay.
That's in my opinion.
Agree.
But that on this one little highlighted part, I'm gonna say this. It says, "Grace is needed now more than ever as we learn how to navigate through the falling away of old paradigms and the emerging of new ones. And then, more than anything, a partner can trigger and mirror to us the parts that we have been hiding away. So sometimes your shadow work is whomever you're dealing with, whether it's a friend, your man, your woman. Sometimes they show you a part of you that you didn't realize. So you got to show yourself grace when you're taking away the old and replacing it with the new.
So like a mirror.
Yeah.
So the things that they bring to the table is pretty much whether good or bad.
Hmm.
Or what you believe.
Or they might be able to see things in a way that you ain't capable of putting it in words for yourself. So I just think so.
Hmm. Okay, okay. So tonight we're gonna be talking about shadow work. So shadow work 101. And we put who you are when you alone, but sometimes people don't really know who what they are when they are alone. Shadow work is more of who are you, that the part of you that you don't know, that you have not given acknowledgement to.
Or the
Because
part that you hide.
yeah, the part that you have, because for the most part, we as humans we lead with ego. And when
Mm-hmm.
you lead with ego, that's the bravado, the persona that you have created to make it look like whatever to the outside world. And a lot of times that overshadows who you truly are. And the bigger the persona, the bigger the ego, the bigger the shadow work, the bigger the shadow. So
Yeah.
your shadow is just as big as your ego. So if you're somebody who's always big and bright and got this lightness about you, you also have a deep dark dark shadows that you really have to, tap
Real
into.
and deeply. Yep.
So, the esoteric context of shadow work is the process of consciously confronting and integrating the repressed, unconscious, or disowned parts of self. Shadow work leads to greater authority and wholeness beyond the surface of self to understand and heal one's strengths and weaknesses, traumas, and negative traits. And the ultimate goal is to understand and incorporate the shadow and not eliminate it. Also, so that subconscious parts aren't completely ruining one's life and can be transformed for good. So, in many cases, some people's shadows come out whenever they're faced with trauma or fear or certain emotions or feelings. They get triggered and their shadow comes out, and so it makes me think about when some people get just irate and upset and they don't even remember being that upset
Yeah,
and they
because
black out.
mm-hmm.
So
But a
I
lot of
know.
times that happens when when there's a lack of accountability. Like I would rather just spaz out and instead of holding myself accountable and recognizing where I went wrong.
Hmm. So because I know some people who have blacked out, have gotten up so upset.
I couldn't hear what you said. What you say?
I would say I've known instances where some people have gotten so upset that they have blacked out. It could be a situation that they were confronted with a spouse, a friend, or something, and they black out and cuss these folks out and don't even know what happened.
Right. And don't add alcohol to the mix. Going to jail.
Hold on one second.
Okay. So yeah, that accountability part is a big deal. So when you are approached on some things that is a part of your shadow and you don't want to deal with it because your ego is big, then that spaz out part is real. That's like I remember one time I had made a statement. I don't even know where I was at. And I was like, trying to swallow your ego is like trying to eat ten pancakes with no syrup or water.
Because your ego is a persona that you have created to protect, either to protect you or to show your persona is who you really believe you are.
Right.
So you have to protect that persona, and if your shadow side comes out, because your persona and ego is who you're presenting to the outside world, your shadow is who you are deep
At
down
heart.
inside
Mm-hmm. Who you
at your
truly
core.
are. And then a lot of times you might feel like, um, your persona is who you really are, but you don't want to show that because it has a level of softness to you.
Hmm.
And it's a feeling of I don't want to be hurt or I don't want to be embarrassed or whatever. So I'm not going to show this part of me. I'm just going to show the ego part, which is
Right.
what you're
Right.
presenting.
Right. And that's shadow self. Shadow self is fear, embarrassment, all of the negative emotions that one feels or that one may feel. That's considered shadow work or
Right.
your shadow self. And
So let
so
me ask you this. Let me ask you a question. So if we took that what we just said, the shadow is, and applied that to your big three on your chart with your
Mhm.
sun, your moon, and your rising, which one is which? Which one is the ego and which one is the shadow?
Usually so your shadow is going to be your moon because that's who you
I
are
know.
in your private. That's your emotional state in your private. I want to say that your ego is really I would like to say sun, but I don't
It's
really
your
think it's your
rising.
sun. I think it's your rising
It
because
is
your rising is who you are, who is the first thing that people see.
when you
That's
come off. Right. Right.
Yes, that's shallow. That's the shallow part. So your ego is very shallow. Your persona is shallow. So, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but that's just who you are, and that's usually your rising. That's how you come off to people. Now, people that know you deep down, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna get to see your moon side. They're gonna see the shadow, and
They're gonna see
sometimes they may
your
see the shadow that you don't see, and they pull that out of you, not purposely, but subconsciously, because, like we said, you attract uh shadow work is mirror work.
right. I agree. Yeah. Because if you really know that, then you know that your rising sign is what people see first. Up.
Right. And
Yeah.
that's usually just our first appearance. Like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, that's how you act. Oh, all right.
Right. But in reality, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I use myself for an example, like I kind of when you people first meet me, I come off as I might be a little intense, but
Mm-hmm.
when you really get to know me, I am shit goofy than motherfucker. I'm gonna talk your head out. It don't even matter. But that's
Right.
my Gemini, but my rising is Scorpio, so it's gonna come off like, and my moon is Aquarius, so it's gonna give like at heart, like I ain't never really gave a fuck.
Yeah, I can detach. And I can attach.
Right, right. So I mean, what you want to
If-
do?
right. And if you fuck around and find out, I'm gonna detach.
And
I
man,
might feel some type of way about it, but I'ma still
I
detach on
will
your ass.
definitely go and cry if I genuinely care. But once I say I'm good, yeah, I don't give a fuck.
I'm
Hey,
done. That's it. I'm good. Yeah,
man,
I'm my rising is Aries, so I probably come off as a bit intense or arrogant, however you want to put it. And
it,
my sun
it
and moon are Leos.
huh?
So my sun and moon are both Leo. So I don't know how the fuck they come off.
God,
I'm
Lee, are
very
you serious?
yes, I am all fire. So I'm very passionate, but I'm very sensitive and emotional. Very emotional.
Yeah,
Very
not a
emotional. Like
very.
this.
I am emotional, but I have to really, really, really care for you to see that emotion
Yeah, I
because,
don't.
like, even my Venus is in Taurus. Like, what?
My Venus is in Leo.
Oh my
Once again.
gosh! Oh, Roger. No, I'm just
So I need constant validation. Like I need constant emotional validation. Like I be talking shit because Roger is a Cancer, and I be like, oh, he's so emotional, but really, it's a mirror of
oh,
me.
you're very emotional.
I'm a very emotional person. I was like, God damn. So this is who I am. Like his
So y'all
emotional,
really like that little kid movie,
yeah, the
Element
elemental,
Elemental. Yeah, I want them
yeah,
to make a part two and do one with the earth signs and the earth signs.
they
Like, come
should.
on. I can go see it. What you say?
They really should.
They need to make a part two, like for real, to show more of the other signs. But that was a good movie though, and I ain't even gonna lie, I cried at that movie, and that's what I be tripping out for. It like little stuff like that makes me
Mhm.
cry. Like I be so emotional about movies and shit like that, but like
Yeah.
in real life, I be like, well,
Well, oh
fuck.
well then.
So, but I don't know.
Ooh.
I just think it be the idea of the I can see how everything is playing out in the movies, and then,
Right.
but in real life, I know that
Because you're
okay,
more of a mental person. You
I am, and
dig
I
deep
need
and you
to, yeah. So yeah,
you
like
need that mental stimulation so you can see the symbolism in the movies.
I can see it.
Visually. You're a
I'm gonna tell
visual.
you another movie that had me toe up was The Lion King. Boy,
Ah. Hey, The
I
Lion
mean, like
King
little,
was an
like I
OG
didn't,
movie.
huh?
That was an OG. They had niggas in third and fourth grade. That shit came out. I was in fourth grade. They had us crying like babies
I
watching that
ain't
movie,
gonna lie, I
bro.
cried real hard on that movie. But that's
But
that
it
that,
just,
that also goes to show that deep in my shadow self, I'm very, very sensitive and soft hearted.
right, right. And so your shadow, is that what your shadow hides? Your softness. So
That's
let's
yeah.
say this. So is your shadow doesn't always hide just bad things.
No, it has good things because I think it's good when you can be soft. But I think your when you go into doing shadow work is the things and aspects of yourself that you've either had to cover and hide in
Mm,
order to make it through life and deal with certain
yeah,
things, or
because of traumatic
because of
experience.
trauma or shit that you
Yeah.
or experiences that you've had. Like, okay, well, say the same level of softness and openness that I had at 13, it's not gonna
Hmm.
be the same at 20, especially if you've experienced things.
Right, 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 right.
So
That's
it's
that's this crazy because this weekend I went through that. Like I'm having to, and this is just my personal. I'm willing to share this. I am realizing I'm really an affectionate person, and I used to be very affectionate when I was younger and in high school. I was always affectionate, but at some point in my life, I was in a relationship where the affection was not reciprocated.
right,
So I started building a wall. And then it took for this weekend for me to realize, like, damn, I really be want affection. And so when I want affection, I start acting out and
right.
being an asshole and deflecting instead of just being like,
Instead of saying,
I-
"Hey, you think you could just give me a hug? I really need a hug."
right, right. Or I
I
get
know
real,
little TikToks that be like, "Oh, I needed a hug, but instead I went and started a garden."
right, exactly. Or for me, I attach after a while, I attach sex to affection. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? As affection
Or
instead
just
of,
sexual just acts of sex. It don't even have to be actual
yeah.
penetration. It could just be. But I think a lot of people do that because everything is so readily available sexually, and then that's how things. Once if you go back and think about younger when we was young, teenage years. Oh well, if you love me, then you will give me some pussy type
Yeah.
mindset.
But
That's
see,
how
even
you
when I
and
was
that's
younger,
learned from molestation and shit like that too.
yeah, traumatic and serious. But I think when I was younger, it wasn't that bad. But whatever that relationship was that I had later in life, it really did a number on me just being willing to accept affection. And now I seem like I'm cold, but I'm really not a cold person. And like I had to come to Jesus this weekend. Like I really like affection. I like to be
I
held. I
think
like to be
most
hugged.
people really like affection, but it's when
Yeah.
you go through. certain
Yeah.
aspects of life where you have to turn that off. Like, okay, well, I know I'm not finna get that from whomever I'm dealing with, then
Yeah.
I'm just gonna fuck it. I'm just gonna go make a garden or whatever.
And that's right, exactly. And that shit just get turned off after so many years. That shit is repressed. It's back in your shadow self. Cause nigga, that shit wasn't working when I needed it to work. So that
Right.
makes sense.
It does.
Okay, so let's get okay. So the core concepts of shadow work is the unconscious versus the conscious to make the subconscious aspects of the personality conscious. So this comes from Carl Jung, Jungian theory. That was his main thing. Consciousness versus unconsciousness. So basically, we want to bring the subconscious to the forefront
To
to
the
consciousness.
forefront. Right.
Right. So shadow self, core concepts. First, the first core concepts are unconsciousness versus consciousness. Next is shadow self, and that's everything that one rejects or represses, unacknowledged strength and potential. So basically, the stuff that we may reject or repress, which is our shadow self, may be a strength and potential if you know how to work it in to
So you
all aspects of your life and
yeah.
transmute it.
So if given it, let's give an example of this. So that's like go back to where we was talking about when you are a soft-hearted person. So say,
Mhm.
but you've been through things where you had to cover that up. So say for instance, now I could use myself as an example on that. Where I work at now
Mhm.
requires me to have a level of softness
Mhm.
when dealing with the children that I work with versus I'm not like it's a different level versus when you work in a traditional school
Right.
because
Right.
the level of instability, trauma is different
Different. Mhm.
than than it is at a regular school. So I had to learn how to tap back into that, even though that, and it took me a process. It was a process for me to even open that part back up. But I know I was put there for a reason because it was time for me to go back into that.
Right. And tap
So
into
it
that.
allows me. That's like when I went down to Atlanta this weekend. Like I was okay with saying, "Damn, let me go somewhere and cry," because what the fuck,
Right.
like. So, and I'm
And that's
okay with that because
and
now
that's
I know
and you're able to transmute that pain or the stuff that you repressed into make it useful for what you need it
for
for
what
into a
I'm trying to
positive way.
do exactly
Exactly.
to
And that goes
yeah.
to what we were saying earlier. You know how some people black out, that passion that you have when you may black out and get anger, if you can transmute that and know like, okay, these are my triggers, I get angry, you
Mhm,
that's passion. Usually
yeah,
anger is some type of sadness or passion
yeah.
that you
And
can
when
take
you
that anger.
capable of doing that and you have learned and mastered that concept,
Yeah.
it's your job. I think it's your responsibility to show the next person how to do that. And that's where I go back into when I was talking about working with the kids that I work with now. I can say, okay, I used to be a for real crash out too. So let me show you this is what I have done. Just from
Hmm.
the teaching aspect of don't get so frustrated when you trying to do something. Take a couple of deep breaths. Let me show you how to do this.
And so that's crazy. That's funny you said that. So you're saying your shadow, you've transmuted that, and now you feel like when people are able to transmute their shadows, you should be able to help the next person.
Absolutely. Just like the AA program.
So that's the opposite of shadow work. Shadow work is shadow work, the opposite of shadow work is light work.
Yeah.
So when you look at light work focuses on bringing light into the world by spreading positivity and joy to others. That is
Mhm.
outside, that's doing work outside of the self. Shadow work focuses on personal growth by exploring and integrating the subconscious aspects of the psyche, such as fear and trauma.
But
So when you said
you
that,
have to do your you have to work in your darkness in order to get to the light.
exactly. So you
You
have to
have
work
to
on
do the
yourself.
shadow work to get to the light work. Like you can't just
Yeah.
go into all love and light. Like, no, my nigga, you gonna have to sit down and cry with yourself and realize the type of things that like your patterns and all that type of shit. You gotta sit in your darkness before you can get to the light.
So, what is your thought on a lot of these people? So, within the last this new age stuff, and is all about loving lights,
I think
crystal.
I honestly think
Um,
I think that sometimes people focus on the love and light part because it's easier to do that than to focus on the darkness. So, but most people who have genuinely done the shadow work or stepped into the dark side of who they really
mm-hmm.
are at a point to where they want to share their lightness. I'm not, so I don't know. I can't say that somebody who's speaking love and light or on lightness has not actually done their darkness. But a lot of times when you deal with somebody and if that's all they speak on is love and light, but they be crashing
Nine
out
times
all
out of
the
ten,
time,
they ain't.
then that
They
mean they
haven't.
haven't worked in their darkness. If you can't control and you see that a lot in like really really religious religion, like people don't be having, you don't have a lot of control over your darkness, whether it's sexual urges, you might be beating on your spouse or whatever. It might be things like that
Mm-hmm.
you haven't dealt with. Like why are you jacking off or doing whatever you're doing 40, 50 times a day? That's something that you need to delve into and look at before
Mm-hmm.
you start trying to tell somebody else what they should and shouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
those are things that you have to look into within yourself before you can try to tell somebody else what they should, how
Mm-hmm.
they should live, lightness or whatever. Step into the
And
light.
so that goes to people. So when people, and that goes to say, like, if you're going to see spiritual people and people that help you give you readings and help you with your shadow self, you need to double check and make sure
And make sure
that
they
this
are.
person, or make sure that this person is cohesive with what you're trying to do. A lot
Yeah.
of times we live in a world where it's internet and you really don't know the background.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like they have it together, but then you start dealing with them in a spiritual realm and letting them tap into some your
Into your
stuff,
energy or your cheat and they not straight. Cause
and you gonna
sometimes
pick up
people
their
too
karmic.
focused on like sex sales. So if
Mm-hmm.
all you seeing is this woman or this man, he's handsome and she's really pretty, so you've been drawn in sexually. But
Mm-hmm.
this person who's going in to do the work has not worked on their dark side. So they're
Right.
really feeding you their darkness
Their darkness.
and pulling
Uh-huh.
on your lightness. So now I'm draining you. You can even look at that when it comes to like therapy and things like that. Like if your therapist has not done work that they should have done, then how can you lead me into a lighter life or into a form of lightness if you're if they're still sitting within darkness within themselves? You know what I'm saying?
And so that's how you end up taking on other people's darkness. And
Mm-hmm.
some of these people know this stuff and know this magic, and that's how they get as powerful as they do because they transmuting their stuff through other people.
Do
They
you
not dealing.
think
They don't
that
have to
they
deal
can
with it.
come? Do you think? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
I
no,
just had a question pop in my head. Do you think that the darkness and lightness can go from parent to child?
yes, I think it can go to anybody that's got a spirit.
No, I mean I'm saying like if you have a parent who's sitting in their darkness and don't want to work to find, you know what I'm saying, go on a journey to better themselves and it's just dark. Well, I already know the answer to this. I just want to know what you thought.
I think so. I do. Because a lot of times kids, they don't even be around some of their parents pick up the same subconscious traits as their kid, as a parent. Just
Mm-hmm.
based off of that DNA and that genetics and that bloodline, they still pick up and do some of the things that that parent does, and they don't even spend no time around that person. So yeah,
Right.
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, and it may take a little extra work for that person to make sure that they don't fall into that, but I do. It's my
Yeah.
personal opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Okay, so where were we? Another core concept is projection.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, shadow is projected onto others, but you must examine the triggers to understand the shadow.
Right. That's going back to just whatever trigger you. So, say for instance, if we having a conversation and I say something and you be like, "Damn, that shit I ain't gonna lie, that shit kind of made me mad." Then
Hmm.
that's a trigger for your dark side. These are my triggers. I'm triggered. I'm motherfucking triggered. And then what's her name? Janie Aiko, or however her name.
Jania Echo.
Yeah, her son motherfucking triggered. So yeah,
Right.
some people don't even won't even acknowledge their triggers though.
Right. And they're projected on the others.
Yeah,
Basically, deflecting. No, deflecting is different. Projecting is I'm upset. So I'm finna go over here and fuck with you to piss you off because I don't want to feel like this.
right.
Instead of
And
me
then that's
being like,
draining your energy.
right. So, and that's probably pretty much what we were just talking about, like dealing with certain spiritual leaders and therapists. Shit, them folk be projecting they shit onto
Uh huh.
others
Your
too,
experiences.
because they haven't done the work. So they project it onto you instead of them working. They're working with the same type of people that they are that they need to work on. So projection is a basically a mirror. Same difference.
Yep.
So the goals of shadow work are authenticity, healing, transmutation, and wholeness. So the goal is ultimately to be your authentic self, good, bad, all of that.
Okay. Come back.
Huh?
What you say?
The good.
You
Oh,
you turned into popcorn salad for a
oh
sec.
shit. My name is Popcorn Sally.
Oh, I was so mad for about 3 episodes. Fuck that. Okay, but what you just say?
So the goal of shadow work is authenticity, healing, transmutation, and wholeness. And authenticity is basically I just lost my whole train of thought, bitch.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
Lord. Oh no, that's not right. Shit. I guess we'll
That,
hear it in the
when you
playback.
lose your train of thought, that's your ancestors telling you don't say that shit. Now you was saying you had just read about the authenticity
No.
and you was finna explain it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Authenticity is who you truly are. The good, the bad, the ugly, the fear, the trauma, all of that, all in one. Whenever you're being authentic with yourself, you're able to accept everything about yourself. The
But,
shadow, your triggers, everything. You're willing to accept that and be okay with it.
but
That's
you have to
authenticity.
accept it before you can do anything to change it. So
Right.
in
And
order for
then
you
come
to be an authentic person, you have to acknowledge yourself. Like what?
right. And so that's the authenticity. And then once you being authentic with yourself, you start getting into the healing. And then after the healing, it's the transmutation. And transmutation is the ability to take something and turn it into something else. So
After
usually, yeah, alchemy, transmutation. You can take your shadow self, the bad parts or the good parts that you repressed, and turn it into something to be a benefit. And then
yeah.
it creates the whole person. And how to
So
practice, huh? Yeah.
go ahead. You finna
Yeah.
say what I was finna say. Okay, go ahead.
So, okay, so how to practice shadow work, you have to start with introspection. Introspection is going in and sitting with yourself and talking to yourself and taking account of how you feel or certain thing when certain things happen and trigger you, you have to go inward and be like, well, fuck, that made me feel like this. That motherfucker said something to me, or I heard a song and it triggered me. So you have to go back to the origination of that trigger. Like,
Mhm.
damn, why did this song like? Cause for the longest, bro, I couldn't listen to Trey songs or Miguel because that was
Yeah.
the era when I was getting cheated on real bad, real bad.
That's crazy how when we did that episode about the music, we talked about that. But music
Yes,
brings frequencies. So,
huh? Yes,
so it just resonated with you to okay, well damn, this is sad. It's like
yes,
it was
because
that all day, all night. Goddamn,
all night.
no, not that.
Mhm. Oh,
It was a girl group. Damn. I can't think of
yeah.
that. And they sang I used to listen to their CD all the time when I was going through something. And I went back
Mhm.
and listened to it now. Like it didn't trigger me,
Yeah.
but it took me back to that emotion. And I was like,
Yes.
whoa.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
where I wasn't like sad. No, it just took me back to when I used to listen to this. This is how I felt.
Yes. And so
So
once
I
you've
don't have
done
a
the work,
desire to listen to that.
right. And once you've done the work, you can go back to that and you're not as triggered. You're just like, well, okay. And this is why I felt like this. Get it.
Right.
Boom. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because I can't listen. I couldn't listen to Trey songs for a long, and definitely not no Miguel, baby, because I found CDs in the car, and I just was that just ugh. And I used to love Trey songs, but I
Yeah,
digress.
too.
So introspection, and then another way to practice shadow work is confrontation. So basically, confronting those feelings, like we just said, why
Not
you feel that
confrontation as in confronting a person, but confronting that
you're
emotion or
triggered.
the feeling
Yes,
or your trigger.
yes. And once you have confronted it and set on it, the last most important part is accepting it. And it's not, and the thing is, shadow work is not some magic timeline. Like we're giving a pretty a nicer version,
Mhm.
what do you call it, a cute version.
Yeah.
Shadow work
Good
ain't shit.
version.
Yeah, ain't shit cute about shadow work, because nine
No,
times out
it's gonna be some snot crying.
yes, because 9 times out of 10, when you go into shadow work, you are psychologically, most people are psychologically fucking not there. Like seriously.
Yeah.
And you have to really be
I
most
want
people are under psychological stress
yeah. This
already.
psychological stress will put your ass in psychosis.
Exactly. So in doing shadow work along with psychological stress, if you're not careful, it can send you to a place that is hard to come back from. Like
Mm-hmm.
seriously. And so that's the part that a lot of people don't talk about. They're like, oh, you gotta go in and do the yeah, you gotta
It's
go in,
something
but
that you have to do by yourself, but I don't
yeah,
suggest that you do it totally alone.
right. And I suggest that if you are under some type of psychological stress, to really make sure that you're okay, because when you start confronting some of your shadows, that shit is not cute
It's
at
tripping.
all.
It's hard. Yeah, because you never know. Like you might confront one shadow and then 15 more come out of it. That's like when
Exactly.
I went through and I started working on my root
Mm.
chakra. I worked
Mhm.
with Chakra Nova journal where I did
Mhm.
journaling or whatever. So it gave me prompts, questions to prompt. Let me see. I guess some it was journal prompts. Like the first one says, when I connect to the earth with bare feet, these are the thoughts that came to my mind. So then
Mhm.
once you make that connection, you talk about the thoughts that came to your mind. Now you gotta sit down and be like, okay, well, what does this mean?
Mhm.
Then another one was when I am grounded, I feel safe, secure, and prosperous. And then you're writing about why you feel that way based on your connection with the earth or when you hug this tree or whatever you're doing. So
And you have to trust yourself. A lot
you
of times people go into shadow work and they really don't trust and know who they are. So when you open up a can of worms, and I'm not saying it's a perfect, like I'm just forewarning. Like when you go into shadow work, you have to trust the process too.
yeah.
Because if you don't really trust who you are, is you
Or at
open
least
yourself.
learn like when you're going through this, you're gonna question yourself. Obviously, you're gonna question
Right.
yourself.
But you
But
have to
that
trust.
thought process that you're having, you have to be able to weed out. Like in the book I read, The Mastery of Self, your ally
Mm-hmm.
mind and your parasitic mind, because sometimes the thoughts that pop into your head is not your original thoughts. It might be the
Mm-hmm.
thoughts that you heard growing up as a child. It might be the
Right.
thoughts, not the thoughts, but like the things that was
Then you have been programmed to believe.
yeah. So if somebody
And another
always told you, go sit your black ass down. So now when you might be saying, okay, well, I'm insecure about my skin complexion, then
right.
instead of saying, oh, I know I'm black I'm black as hell, I'm black as hell. No, I'm beautiful.
So what is your take on shadow work and raw dogging
Raw dog and wait, what?
life?
Oh,
Raw
okay.
dogging raw dogging life. What is your take on
I feel like I feel like if you are a person that believes in incorporating Western meds into you, then get you some Western meds. If you are
Yeah.
a person like me that I
Mm,
would prefer to do herbal, then that's what I'm gonna do.
yeah.
Everybody's entitled to do what works best for them. I
Yeah.
personally prefer the herbal things if you're going to go say if you're going to work with a person that whomever like how can I say this? If the person that you say for instance, if you went to go sit on that lady couch. If you
Mm-hmm.
going to sit on the lady couch and the lady that you going to see prescribes you some meds and you're okay with taking that shit, then take it. But if you are the type like I'm the type of person where I might want to go lay on the table. I might not want to go on
Yeah.
no couch. So I might be going to see a Reiki master or some shit. She more than
Yeah.
likely is probably not going to write me a prescription for something. She might say, okay, well, you might need to drink some valerian root to help you sleep,
Mhm.
or some California poppy, or take this tincture that's gonna relax you. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on the person. But for me
Mhm.
personally, I prefer a holistic wrap because the side effects are not as bad.
Mhm. So
But
and
to
so a lot of people we see a lot of people now doing the shrooms and the ayahuasca because that taps into different parts of your brain
it does. But
and
if
subconscious.
you're not at a strong place, if you're not a strong minded person, then you might not need to go that route because
Or
it
like
might
I say, it's a thin line between sane and unsane, and it's a fucking tightrope. A
it is.
tight rope to
But
walk.
if you are not capable of controlling your parasitic mind, which is all of the domesticated thoughts that come from your upbringing or your whatever,
Mhm.
then you need don't like move tread light, move slow.
Yeah.
Take one thing at a time and go. This because like for me, I've been working through this journal for since 2000 and what 21.
Mhm.
So and shadow work is really never ending because every day you're gonna learn something new about yourself. So you're gonna have
Right.
a new trigger, and then at the same time as you're doing your shadow work, you might have to go through a process of reparenting yourself. Not saying
Mhm.
that you had shitty parents or that your parents didn't do what you needed for them. What your parents might not have met the expectations that you had for parents.
Right.
So therefore, you have to go back and reparent yourself. Like if for me, I started parenting at 18, so I know I did not meet certain expectations. But
Mhm.
as we have grown and evolved, we have open communication where we can talk about these things.
Mhm.
So you might need to get you a little workbook to work about that. But I for me, the best thing that really worked for me was putting pen to paper.
Yeah. And so here are some
Excuse me.
so shadow work. So a lot of people so we're in a world where everything is so polarized. You got a whole lot of people who are really into religion right now and grasping to religion, which is fine. So a lot of your Christian base may not agree with shadow work because it is a
See,
psychological
look,
term.
let me tell you what I seen today. The shit was so fucking funny. I was on TikTok, and like I followed the Jasmine Garden girl,
Hmm.
and she came on there and she was talking about somebody calling dude Deontay Cal the
Oh yeah,
Antichrist.
demon, the Antichrist, because he said
Then
something.
I scrolled up, and this nigga had on the same suit Donald
I
Trump
saw
be
that.
wearing with that mask on. Bitch,
It's a devil
I was
man.
hollering laughing. That shit was funny. I said, "Oh my god, they finna wear his ass out."
You know they are. So what the conversation was basically about how ancestors may have been demon. You know, people started playing on like your ancestors.
Now,
All
I
your
don't
ancestors
understand how
were
can you
good.
say that somebody's ancestors are you demonizing the ancestors. Like these are people that I know,
Hmm.
but you want me to believe in this person who I've never met. There's really no proof that they existed other than just blind belief.
And you're doing rituals by drinking his blood and bread at the altar.
Right. The shit, wow. I just, it doesn't, but I think all of that plays a big role into cognitive dissonance.
And
So
it's program, and we talked about it, and it's also Stockholm syndrome.
it
Like
is.
a lot of it is what came with colonization of the New World, and
Mhm.
so and in order to keep a person colonized, you have to give them something that takes control of their mind. Because you give them something to control their mind, they're not gonna step out of line. They're not gonna step out of line. You don't have to worry about beating them with whips
But
and
I was
chains.
listening to this girl, and I didn't go back and verify this information, but she was saying that a lot of times people took on Christianity and got baptized as in a means to show that, oh, I've took on this religion, so now I'm free. But then they went back in and made changes to say that just because a slave was baptized, does not issue them freedom.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about all
So
that.
I don't. I just, she had studied
I just think
something
it's more
somewhere, but
of a colonization because
I
religion was
mean
not
that does
just
fall
brought to.
into, that falls into how the colonization began. Oh well, you need to
Yeah,
believe.
it's a mental
Yeah.
thing. Like you not they did none of them. All them took Christianity and they was not motherfucking free. They just took that shit and went with
Because
it. Just like
if I kept getting a whooping, I'ma believe that shit too.
I've been listening to Rod Hayes. I love Rod Hayes. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, the Chief Pontiac. He be
Yeah.
on with Young Elder and he broke all of this stuff down on their last little podcast. Young Elder and Chief Pontiac Rod Hayes. And they were just basically talking about how all the origins of religion were all based by the same people and created, just like Islam was created
Yeah.
because the Middle Eastern, so-called what we call the Middle Eastern, they did not trust whomever. So they had to give them something to fall in. If you think about it, Christianity, Judaism, and
In
Islam are all have the
totality,
same premise.
doesn't it all equal up to let me be a better person?
Yeah, it does equal up to let me be a better person, but it has one figurehead that you're following.
That's what I'm saying. So if the end result of whatever it is that you believe in is let me be a better person, what
It's
difference does
damn
it
near the
matter
same
which
truth.
one I do? Huh?
Exactly. So Christianity, you're believing in Jesus to help get you to
But I
your
still trip off of, why do I have to die to go to heaven, but everybody else get heaven on earth?
yeah. I don't know about
But
that
that's
one.
anyway. That's it.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
matter.
another. Yeah.
That's
So,
another
okay,
time.
so shadow work may be practiced in what how shadow work may be practiced in witchcraft, and I'm doing air quotes, guys. Self reflection, which is journaling, meditation, and introspection, ritual and magic, i.e., cleansing bath, candle burning, mirror work,
But people
observe.
been doing that though. If you go back and you really look at like your your grandmother or your great grandmama, somebody probably put some herbs in a tub and said, "Go on in
Yeah,
there
and
and get in there."
and they have superstitions, and they call them
Yes.
superstitions.
Why y'all eat black eyed peas and cornbread on New Year's or greens or whatever? I don't ever eat that shit. But why y'all eating it? Why come, like, it's so much shit. Don't step on the crack, you're gonna break your mama back. Like all this shit is
All of it is
superstition.
superstition. Is
So
right.
it's ritualistic. Even those little tables that sit at the front of the church and say in remembrance of me. What that mean?
Yeah, that's the altar. Going to the altar. The altar is the same thing. The offering that you give to your ancestors. Altar at the church, you give an
Exactly.
offering
That's
to
all I'm
Jesus. So it's the
saying.
same
So
concept.
what's the
You
difference?
going up there to drink wine, and on people altars they be pouring wine
Yes, you put
for they
libations
folk.
to your ancestors. So whether I have an altar in my home, or if I'm going to the altar, or I'm going to lay my troubles on the altar,
They cold. Hey, these folk cold with it because they gave us some of our stuff too when
they
they
gave
created
us
the
a lot
church.
of our stuff, and then for us to demonize it, the shit is wild to me. I'm like, how the fuck do you not see this?
They could practicing cognitive dissonance. And then okay, so the last two. A mirror work, observing how other people's behaviors trigger you and reveal your own shadow aspect as the problem isn't, and it revealing your own shadow aspect as the problem isn't with them but with yourself.
Right.
And then lastly is through creative and expressive art, and a lot of that is through music. I know when I was doing starting off with shadow work, music kind of pulled me through certain songs. I would
Hmm.
get a feeling that I would want to listen to,
Shit, I had started
and
my own
yeah. So music is creative expression. A lot of people create art to express themselves. So
creativity. That taps into your chakras. Like if your
mhm,
creativity is blocked, then that means there's some work that you need to do on your within those chakras to unblock that.
solar plexus usually, because
Yeah,
it's solar plexus your creativity, or is that your personal
your personal, and then
or
your
your
sacral is your
sacred?
hmm
This one is creative, so creativity. And so a few tools for shadow work are inner child work. So, like we said, parenting your inner child, reparenting your inner child, dream analysis, using affirmations to acknowledge hidden parts, and your basic starter tools for shadow work, journaling with specific prompts, meditation and
you
mindful.
can even
Huh?
you can even buy. You can go online or go to fucking Five Below and get a journal prompt book for
Mm-hmm.
shadow work. But to go back to answer that question, your sacral is what relates to your activity.
Creativity. Gotcha. And then, okay, meditation and mindfulness practices. So, then that's to observe your thoughts and feelings and be judgment free while doing it. Creative expression like art and music, and engaging with inner dialogue with your shadow self.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's so many
Mhm.
different ways that you can work on yourself or tap into
Right.
shadow work, whether you want to make music, you want to write letters, you want to
Hmm.
draw, you want to do journal prompts. There's not really a right or a wrong. I
Wrong way.
think it's
Hmm.
imperative to know what you're working on, like for each to identify what's happening within you and don't just be a whole big jumbled up ass mess because you'll stress yourself out if you don't
Right.
know, if you're not taking a specific route. Like if you're gonna go through journaling, then you need to get you a journal. If you're gonna go through drawing, then you need to find you.
Or you might, like for me, and I'm just gonna say, you might not have to stick to one thing because I be
You
all
know,
over the place.
me too. I
One
journal.
day I
I
journal,
write.
then the next day I would just
Mhm.
sit out and read a book, and then I
Yeah.
really did with delve deep when I started just going outside and being one and sitting in the sun and just enjoying nature.
Hmm.
That
I used to
opened up a
sit
lot.
outside in the sun in midday in the summertime
Yeah.
and write affirmations and then
Hmm.
turn around and listen to them. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Right.
best way to identify who you are or to is to tell yourself. Like it's cool
Hmm.
to listen to music, but there's still somebody else's voice. So when you take a chance to be the person that's telling you who you are, then I think that holds more power when you create your own affirmations.
Hmm.
Not
So
saying
I'm
that.
gonna leave. So I'm gonna leave with
Okay.
one last thing. So just know diplomacy is the key to accepting shadow self. Just like what Cammy was talking about in the beginning, you have to really have grace with yourself. Like, don't,
Mhm.
it's there's no real technique for assimilating the shadow, and diplomacy is an individual matter. So you have to be very diplomatic with yourself and give yourself grace.
Right. And just remember at the end of the day, the whole concept of shadow work is to come out of your darkness into your lightness. Into that lightness is where you find love. And once you
Hmm.
find love for yourself is when you can tap in and share that love with other people. So it's like you can have it, it makes your relationships better. It makes whether your relationships are platonic or romantic, just in
Mhm.
general, having a sense of love for yourself makes it easier to love others and be accepting of others.
Mhm. And to love yourself, you gotta accept all aspects, good, bad, the
You
ugly.
do. You do. And you can change where you want to change. And sometimes you might be okay. You might like for and now I'm gonna throw this in there. Sometimes you have to hold on to bits and parts of that shadow because shit, who the fuck you talking to?
Right.
You might have to tap into that. And
Turn
sometimes
into a warrior
yes,
queen.
don't ever lose your warrior, your part of yourself that's a warrior.
Yeah, I agree.
See, always hold on. So you ain't gotta always utilize that shit, but don't let it go.
Don't let this suit shit fool you, nigga.
Don't you start.
And my Steve Harvey.
Lord. Isis.
Hey, Isis.
Isis tapping into her warrior.
Oh, sound like she tapping into her crybaby.
I'm actually trying to get outside.
Oh,
I
she trying to get up there.
uh-huh. Hold on. Hold on. Shit. Okay.
Excuse me.
Dogs is like toddlers.
They are. And my toddler wants a dog. A puppy. No, ma'am, Pam.
Why? Get that baby a puppy so they can grow up.
Uh-uh. No. Hell no. I done had
Fuck
every
no. No,
plant
just
animal. I done had every animal on the sun, baby. And the easiest ones was motherfucking cats. Nope.
yeah. I sleep
Mm-mm.
on a bird, but I don't want to take care of this shit.
Right, you bird, you got to clean that shit. Nope. I'm not.
I think the worst thing to clean up after of is a fucking hermit crab.
I don't even know what they would leave, but I don't even want to find
The
out.
shits.
I
And then
don't
you
want to
gotta
find
find
out.
them. You gotta find them shells. Make sure they got a
Mm-hmm.
shell when they
Mm-hmm.
Mario had one. He fed it.
Uh,
Fed it fish food and died.
damn. What do
He
they
said,
eat?
"Huh?
What do they eat?
Hermit crab food? Hell, I don't
Oh,
know.
oh
It
my
just."
God.
So look, I don't remember if it was pellets or flakes. I can't remember, but I know it wasn't fish food.
Oh Lord. Well, Lord.
Let me read this. Like, well, there go your fish. There you go. We ain't getting
There
no
you
none.
go. Exactly. That's it.
For real. Okay. So you got anything else to say before I read it?
Mm. Nope. That's it.
Oh, rest in peace, D'Angelo, bro.
Yes, D'Angelo. He was our neo soul king of our
Yeah.
generation.
Because he
He
told
was
me
a
I was his lady when everybody else was hollering about being bitches and
exactly.
hoes.
Exactly. He ushered in a whole generation. He raised our generation for real.
He did. And I
Yes,
never forget that video. That was the best video. That
that
untitled.
was. It was. But he didn't even want to be a sex symbol. After that, he got fat and disappeared because it was too much pressure and he didn't like it. He's an Aquarius.
He
And he
probably
dipped on
didn't want that attention.
he did. And that's what he said. He said, I didn't want that type of attention because that's not who I was. He was like, I'm a musician, not a
Yeah.
sex symbol. And he came back better than a motherfucker. But he dropped
Them
that damn
motherfuckers
Black
look good on
Messiah
that
album.
pussy. I ain't mad at him. And I understand that because it is uncomfortable. But
Yeah.
shit, it looked good on there. I won't take that away from him, but I respect
Listen,
his
I
saying
can
he
listen
didn't
to
like
that. I can listen to that Voodoo album from the beginning to the end,
mm-hmm.
whole album. But
That-
my favorite song by him is "Shit Damn Motherfucker" on his first album. Go listen to it if you haven't.
okay. All right. So we are root of your root. So, soil of your soil, bone of your bone, and blood of your blood. We boldly and graciously thank our ancestors for their guidance with our connection to Source, to gaining peace in our mind, for protection from monitoring spirits, and the ability to send negativity back to the sender. We thank them for the wisdom to communicate truthfully from an open heart space and allowing forgiveness to continue the open heart space. The clarity to see success and accept joy into our lives while sitting in a safe place. The ability to create necessities for health and good energy. We understand, and understand the strength and power that's being bestowed upon us. We accept the responsibility of the gifts passed down to us. We walk in your strength and power today and every day. Ashe.
Amen.
Your ass is crazy. All right. Hey, easy.